It is Tuesday, November 26, 2024, and this is the latest news update for Medellín, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole. I believe I have 8 good short stories for you today. I'm going to jump into them right away. Make sure you stay to the end. I have a comment at the end and a bit of an alert as well regarding another YouTuber. So let's jump into this first story right away. More water cuts to come this week in Medellín. Public Companies of Medellín, EPM, announced water service interruptions in Medellín, Itagüí, and Bello starting Tuesday, November 26, due to maintenance and tank cleaning. The first cut affects 5,300 users in Colinas del Sur and La Colina in Medellín, and El Porvenir and Entre Colinas in Itagüí from 9 a.m. on November 26 to 2 a.m. on November 27th. November 27th. The second cut impacts 10,000 users in various Medellín neighborhoods from 8 p.m. on November 27th to 4 a.m. on November 28th. The third cut affects 20,000 users in Bello and additional Medellín neighborhoods during that same time frame. Over 35,000 homes will be affected in total. EPM appreciates the community's understanding as these actions ensure continued water quality. So keep that in mind. If you got an Airbnb, you may be without water for a couple of days. In Colombia-UK relations, the United Kingdom will reinstate visa requirements for Colombians starting December 24th, 2024, due to an increase in false asylum applications. This measure, which had been lifted in October 2022, aims to curb the misuse of visa-free travel. Colombian Ambassador Roy Barreras explained that a minority of Colombians abuse the system, leading to this decision. The UK faces internal pressures from high migration rates, prompting stricter immigration policies. Colombians with travel plans before December 24 can enter without a visa, but those traveling afterwards will need one. The Colombian government is working to reduce false asylum claims and hope to reverse the decision in the future. Despite this change, trade, tourism, and cultural relations between the two countries will remain strong. Okay, over to Colombian international news. The Colombian government has welcomed the International Criminal Court's, the ICC's, decision to issue arrest warrants for the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, accusing them of war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza. This decision follows allegations of using starvation as a method of warfare and targeting civilians. Colombia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs reiterated its commitment to peace and condemned the actions against Palestinians. Despite Israel's objections, the ICC made parts of the warrants public to inform victims. The warrants include Hamas leader Mohammed Diab Ibrahim al-Masri, who recently died in an Israeli bombing. Okay, in air transportation news, United Airlines has launched its first direct flight route connecting Medellín to Houston. Go figure. It ain't all good news. This marks United's first new route in Colombia since 1993. The launch was celebrated with a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the Jose Maria Cordova International Airport. Medellín's mayor, Federico Gutierrez, emphasized the importance of this connection for tourism and global development. This new route adds to United's existing flights from Houston and Newark to Bogota, strengthening its presence in Colombia. United Airlines continues to expand its global network, now connecting 6 continents and 67 countries, with significant growth anticipated in Latin America. Now, say it wasn't all good news. I live in Houston. I looked at the price. It wasn't good at all. Anyway, in Netflix entertainment news, the documentary The Lost Children has quickly topped Netflix chart just a week after its premiere. It tells the gripping story of 4 young siblings who survived a plane crash and spent 40 days alone in the Amazon jungle before being rescued. With 7.9 million views worldwide, it has become the second most watched content on Netflix globally. The film, directed by Orlando von Ansendel, highlights the children's survival skills and the collaborative rescue efforts. It has made Netflix top 10 list in 50 countries, including Colombia, where it reached the number 1 spot. There you go. In Colombia's tradition news, on December 7th, Colombians celebrate Dia de las Velitas, or Little Candles Day, by lighting candles and lanterns, making wishes, and spending time with loved ones. This tradition marks the unofficial start of the Christmas season and honors the Virgin Mary, connected to the Catholic feast of the Immaculate Conception on December 8th. The tradition began in 1854 when Catholics worldwide lit candles in anticipation of the Immaculate Conception Declaration. Today, Colombians light colorful candles on sidewalks, balconies, and windowsills, each with a personal significance, and often celebrate with family gatherings and parties. The next day is a national holiday in Colombia. In music tour announcements, J Balvin has indeed announced his Back to the Rayo tour for 2025, marking his return to the North American stage after 3 years. The tour will cover 27 cities across the United States and Canada, starting on March 20th in Atlanta, Georgia, and concluding on May 17th in Portland, Oregon. His latest album, Rayo, released in August 2024, features collaborations with artists like Chencho Corleone, Zion, and Faye. The tour announcement, creatively inspired by the Back to the Future films, has generated a lot of excitement amongst its fans. And he's coming to Houston, looks like, and in the Valley, which is the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, which not a lot of people go to. But anyway, I guess they like his music there. Anyway, finally, I'm going to leave it at this, but stay to the end because I want to comment at the end. But finally, in Formula One news, Formula One has confirmed that General Motors and its partner TWG Global will introduce Cadillac as the 11th team on the grid in 2026. This expansion comes as F1 plans to implement synthetic fuels and new car designs that year. GM's entries follows a commercial evaluation by Formula One management and the International Automobile Federation, and it will also see GM become an engine supplier in the future. The Andretti family, known for their racing legacy, is indirectly linked to this project. This addition opens up 2 new spots for drivers, fostering opportunities for young talents and current drivers without guaranteed seats. GM joins Ford and Audi as the new manufacturers entering F1 in 2026. So there you go. Now, I touched on this last story. I wanted you to meet me on this side because I recently saw another news program pop up. I got YouTube pops up on I live on YouTube. I mean, I watch YouTube 95% of the time. That's my media source of choice. But there's a lot of comments, especially with the new administration coming in, about tariffs. Now, I did a video about this a few years ago. Hopefully, some of you have been around that long. You remember it because it kind of upset me and a few other people that work with me in my industry, because I need to make sure that people understand what a tariff is. The China tariff. China does not pay the tariff, okay? I need to make this as plain and simple as possible. When the U.S. government says China has a 10% tariff, or now I heard Mexico and Canada is going to be a 25% tariff, just rest assured, you need to understand that those countries do not pay the tariff. The American businesses that import these goods do, such as my company. We've had product held for hostage. I remember when this happened, 5 or 6 years ago, whenever it was, the China tariff, and they added 10% on to all the goods that are coming into the country. So once we purchase product, puts it in a container, that container comes to Long Beach or the Port of Galveston, or wherever it comes, the Port of Houston, wherever it goes, then before we can take it, put it on a truck and send it to our facilities, we have to pay that 10%. So easy math, $100,000 on a container, then we need to pay another $10,000 on top of it. So when those companies, these American companies, get charged that additional 10% fee, again, China don't pay it. I'm so infuriated by people think the way it is said is like China's going to pay it. No, these countries don't pay it. American business who import have to pay it. In turn, what does that mean? We have to raise our prices. We can't take a 10% loss. How much you think margins are anyway in a lot of different businesses? Some of them aren't that great. So 10% will shut them down. Walmart has already said, hey, they go ahead with this format. Remember, these $200 and $300 TVs you're getting right now, not going to cost that anymore. So appreciate your discounts that you're getting right now, because if that tariff gets implemented, any of these tariffs, I almost said a word that gave my personal view, but if any of these tariffs are enacted, then you're going to be paying for it as a customer, because the businesses have to pass it on. Okay. I put that out there. So there's no ambiguity. If you need to research it. It's pretty easy to find. It's going to be passed on to you. What gets me is that we got infuriated by that president who's getting ready to come back, did this, 5, 6 years ago. But then the latest administration came in and kept the tariffs on. Anyway, Also, I wanted to put out a notice at the end of this. I'm sitting here watching YouTube this evening, and I noticed that Check and Effect had a video that said that he had his channel taken down. So if you watch Check and Effect, like I watch him, he's been all over Africa. He's been in Spain. He's been in Central and South America, of course. Good quality content. I watched him from years ago. He's been doing this. I think he said 5 years. I've been doing this 5 years. Only he made it to 500,000 viewers or more, or rate at 500,000. And I'm struggling at 22. But I have my niche. He's actually out there traveling, and he's got good content. So find him. I think his new channel, he had an old channel. It was called The Check Effect. The Check Effect. So go look him up. Send him some love in the form of payment if you can. I think he does have a GoFundMe, because please understand, when these channels get taken down like this abruptly too, so does the income. So he may be in another country. And, well, he is. I think he said he was in Thailand. So you're in another country and you get caught up, and now your monthly income has been cut short. And I think if they remove your entire channel, then all those proceeds just go away. You know, let's say he stopped recording right now. His older videos, he'd still make money from. But now, since they're snatching the whole channel, I'm not sure how that's going to happen. But prayers and good vibes your way, brother. You'll be all right, of course, because you climbed to that mountain real quick, bro. So I think quick. So you can do it again. So get on over, show him some love, tell him Rob sent you. Appreciate you guys. Again, I'll be working with Camilla soon. I have an idea, and you'll be seeing that vision come out soon. Anyway, you're up to date with the latest news out of Medellín, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe. Okay, hold on, guys. Right quick. If you need to have things shipped to Colombia, shipped to someone else, or shipped to yourself to Colombia from the United States, make sure you reach out to CaribbeanShipper.com. CaribbeanShipper.com. The contact information is coming next. Join me on social media. I am dcbornrob official on Instagram. I am dcbornrob official 1 on TikTok. I am dcbornrob O on Twitter. Don't be like this guy right here.
You're just so stupid. I had to send you a video to let you know you're so stupid.
That's right. Don't be like this guy right here. Join me on social media. Headed to Medellín, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below. If you're in Medellín and you need dental work done, from a basic cleaning to major reconstructive surgery, come see my guy, Dr. Carlos Maury. Contact information in the description below.
Thanks for hitting like. You did the right thing by hitting like. Thanks for hitting like. Thanks for hitting like. DC Born Rob.